Hi, my name is Gail Hodgson. Welcome to my studio. Today we're going to be doing a 2-color background pour and then pool pour on top of it. Okay, so we have some mixing to do of colors and all kinds of stuff, but we're going to start with, because we're doing 2 colors on this canvas, we're going to start with just painting the edges with a darker color, because when you pour on top of canvas, it rolls over the edge. And if you're doing the dark color, the white canvas will kind of show through in the end. So to remedy that, we're going to paint the edge with our color. And I'm using sort of like a beachy color theme with some Hawaiian inspiration of some of the beautiful flowers and that type of thing in Hawaii. I don't know, I don't always have an inspiration, but a lot of times I do. And that's my inspiration today. I am going to, first of all, paint the edges of this. And because I'm doing white on top and then this sea green color on the bottom sort of third, I'll just paint the edges here. Ooh, look at that color. Beautiful. And I will be pouring, so after I mix fluid medium into this color, I will be pouring on top of this, but we just want to get the edges done first. There. And sort of thin it out in the inner part here with a brush, because you don't want a big ridge right there. There. Okay, and I'm just going to blow dry that. Okay, that should do it. So now we are going to mix our colors. Like I said, I kind of have my inspiration today for from Hawaii, and so if you've ever been to Hawaii, which I've been a few times, and I just love it there. I mean, you just can hardly take in all the beauty and the color, and even the sunsets it's just wildly bizarre with all that blue and blue-green ocean. I just love it. So first thing I'm going to do is use the paint I had before, sort of pre-mixed, and I'm going to, so this is pure paint actually, and I'm going to add it to what I had mixed before, just the white paint for the background up in the upper part of the canvas. And it needs some fluid medium added to it. And the consistency, you know, it sort of varies between everything that you mix. It should be like, kind of like cream or cremo. And not milk though, and not like syrupy either. You want it to like really flow, have a nice flow. That's pretty good. And then I'm going to put a tiny bit of silicone, kind of acts like a cell activator. And cells and lacing in fluid acrylics is really fun. I love working with those and having them appear. There's a lot of things in nature that has that lacing cell kind of look to it. And so that's kind of like, even like wings of an insect and stuff like that have, dragonfly wings have that stained glass window look. which is kind of like lacing when you look closer. Okay, that's pretty good. Fluid medium in with the white, and that's for the top part of the canvas. And then now I have to add fluid medium to my sea green color. And it's usually about half and half that you do with colors. I reuse my spoons and my cups, my containers, but I probably don't wash them well. Oh, that's pretty good. And we're going to put that over here. We've got our sea green color. And we'll just set that aside for a minute because we do have to mix our Hawaii colors. Well, my interpretation of Hawaiian colors. So some of the things I have that I use are pre-mixed. They already have fluid medium in it, but I like to thin them out and stuff too. So that's a nice turquoise color. And there are a lot of all kinds of purple tropical flowers around Hawaii. Oops, we don't want a blob. Ooh. Let's see. Oh, I'm gonna have to take the blob out. We're doing a pool pour, not a blob pour. Okay. Yeah, I will thin these out a little bit. Oh, getting dirty. That was another sample I did, was a dirty pour. And of course our beautiful plumeria color, fuchsias. And then I like to use a variety of different kind of paints, not just pre-mixed ones. Paints from tubes, fluid ink paints, these kind of paints right here, but they're, a lot of times tube paints are thick. So you kind of have to take one more step. Well, you don't have to, but lots of people do different techniques, but I do. I put, nice sound. So I like to add some thinner, and my thinner is just basically flow medium with water, but it's somehow it just works nicer for me than just adding just water. Just to get the paint unthickened, basically, before I even add the flow medium. Okay, I kind of got it to a fluid state-ish, and then I can add the flow medium. Oh, I love this yellow. So golden. Like mango color. A little bit thinner. Okay, that's actually pretty good. There. There. Make sure this is okay. I can use a little more fluid medium or flow medium. There. And like I said, with the colors, you don't need a whole lot because I actually like the base coats of the canvas to the white and the sea green color. I kind of like them to, you know, be quite present and not take over the whole thing with color, with the other colors. So it's kind of like called negative space, I believe. And that's why also why we only need a little bit of the colors for this technique. Oh, that's still a bit thick. Some colors just have a different viscosity than other colors. Like for example, reds and greens are usually really thin. Now this fuchsia color seems to be quite thick, but it does have medium in it too. So, and then we have our turquoise color. Needs a little bit of thinner too. And like I said, it's a consistency of like a Cremo container or cream, but not milk. That's pretty good. A bit more. This part you have to have a lot of patience for because if you do try this, it's just really fun. You'll learn by when you mix it too thin, it just goes to a big mud fest, just over mixes, and it becomes one color. And then that's your unhappy mistake. Ooh, I love this color too. All right. We can just about do our background white and green, and then we'll do some pool pours where they meet and see how the colors mingle. So that's what's next. All right. Might as well get our white on first. And then we're doing the white and the sea green color, so I'm only going to do white on the top part here. Spread it around. And I kind of want a wavy line here where I'm going to add the green color. Okay. Let's get this color on. Wow, that's a vibrant turquoisey sea green. I don't know what to call it, but I like it. Get it to the edges. is really playful, this art form. So why I really like it. I'm just a big kid. All right, now let's do our pool colors, and I'm going to layer the colors in kind of some spots, one on top of the other, and then we'll see. It'll build a little at first, and then we'll move it around and see what happens. Not really in any particular order, just going with the flow. Part of the fun too is the discovery of this and the anticipation of what's going to happen next, because you can never do the same thing twice. It's a pretty unpredictable. There, psychedelic. Actually, I'm going to do a couple more layers before I move it around. What did I do next? Just a little bit. All right, let's see what happens. I'm going to move some of this around, and then I'm also going to move it around with the palette knife too. Oh, maybe we'll get some tropical fish out of this. And like I said, I'm not going to spread it everywhere because I want the negative space of the white and the turquoise or the sea green. Just going to move it around a little bit and then use this. This really, you'll see the cells start to form when you roll paint on top of paint. That's kind of what we're doing here. So I think I'm just going to swish it first. And right off. And then I just play a bit. And you see, I end up, when I swipe, I start taking up more of the space too, so that's okay. It's just that I didn't want to get rid of it all. And then this part kind of almost doesn't make any sense. It's just like, oh, I like that. I don't like this. Oh, that's cool. Or, if I move this across here, what might happen? And then sometimes you get attached to areas too, like, oh, I don't want to disturb that. Well, that's kind of cool. And if you do get some where you didn't really want it, you can kind of scoop it out. See, I got some color there that when that dries, it might not look that great. So I'll just move it around. Now, oh, I see. Well, you know what? I actually want to, I didn't put much silicone in the green, sea green, so I'm going to add a little bit of that right now. If I can find it, there it is. And that's why you're not seeing so many cells forming here. But we can do a sneaky trick. We can put a little bit of silicone into this color. And then stir it up. And then I'm just going to actually do a controlled part where you put it on the knife and then you can kind of get there. That's better. I don't mind that it isn't as cellular as the white, but I did want a little more. Ooh, look at that color showing up. Maybe a little bit more over here. Yeah, like I said, this part here is just playful. Move stuff around. Well, I kind of like that. Ooh, there's lots of beautiful colors showing up. Combos. Okay, I think that's where we'll leave it there. Okay, thank you for joining me today. This is really fun. We made a proper mess, and if you'd like to see more, subscribe to my channel.